The news day continues here on One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. China is urging the Philippines to reject Taiwan's call for independence. Days after the ministerial dialogue between the Philippines and the United States, Chinese ambassador to the Philippines, Wang Zilian, warned the country against meddling in the issue with Taiwan, saying Beijing won't hesitate to use force in the territory if needed. Wang advised the Philippines to think of the OFWs currently working in Taiwan. China, Taiwan, and the United States are currently embroiled in a geopolitical strife prompted by China's military pressure in the territory.
The Philippines is advised to unequivocally oppose Taiwan independence if you care about the 150,000 overseas foreign workers. Obviously, the U.S. intends to take advantage of the new exercise to interfere in the situation across the Taiwan Strait at the expense of peace and development of the Philippines.
The National Food Authority is looking to import over 300,000 metric tons of rice to beef up its buffer stock. However, its mandate only allows purchase of rice solely from local farmers. Maricel Halili with the report.
There's a need to increase the country's rice buffer stock. That's according to President and Agriculture Chief Bongbong Marcos. This is to make sure we have enough supply for the lean months and reserve stock for relief operations during times of calamity. To augment the country's rice buffer stock, the National Food Authority is proposing to import around 330,000 metric tons of rice.
Mababa ang buffer stock ng NFA, kailangan bumili yung NFA para umabot siya ng at least 9 days na buffer stock. So, yun ang pinaplano natin ngayon kung paano nila gagawin. Dahil ang NFA, kailangan ibibilhin nila yung kanilang buffer stock, bibilhin nila sa local producer.
In a video message, President Marcos said that the government would have to weigh the implications of importing more rice.
Ang problema, kapag sila ay pumasok sa merkado, pag sila'y namili na para i-replace yung buffer stock na nakulang nila, ay tataas naman ang presyo ng bigas. Siguro, ang magagawa natin ay ang pagbili ay hindi bigla, hindi malaki.
But as early as now, agriculture group SINAG is opposing any plans to import. SINAG says the country has enough reserve supply of rice until August, even without importation. Instead, SINAG is urging the NFA to buy palay directly from local farmers, since it would also be cheaper compared to importing. According to SINAG, the landed cost of imported rice would be around 36 pesos per kilo, while buying local would only cost around 21 pesos per kilo. For News 5, Maricel Halili, We Are One News.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. Preparations are in full swing with less than a month before the coronation of United Kingdom's King Charles. Celebratory memorabilia are being prepared, including new coins featuring Charles's effigy. Commemorative chinaware like teacups, mugs, and dessert plates decorated with the UK's emblems will also be available. Meanwhile, a Buckingham Palace spokesperson confirmed that Charles's second-born, Prince Harry, will be attending the coronation. However, his wife, Meghan, will remain in California with their children. Harry and Meghan have reportedly been on the outs with the rest of the royal family since they stepped down from royal duties in 2020. And Lionel Richie, Katy Perry, and Take That will star in an eclectic lineup at a concert to celebrate King Charles' coronation. The lineup also includes opera star Andrea Bocelli. A group of community choir singers from across Britain and the Commonwealth is also set to perform. King Charles' coronation will take place in Westminster Abbey on May 6. Now, governments around the world are planning to raise the retirement age, but at what cost? This Bloomberg Quick Take tells us.
Most of us dream of a long and healthy retirement, but for some people, those dreams are fast becoming a fantasy.
Tengo hijos y estoy muy preocupado por el futuro de ellos. Ya no vamos a tener salud, ya no vamos a tener pensión.
Και τα ζητήματα που έχουν να κάνουν με τη σύνταξη αλλά και την υγεία και την πρόνοια, για μας αυτό είναι αιτία πολέμου.
J'ai travaillé longtemps et profiter de mes enfants, mes petits-enfants.
With an aging population and birth rates declining, the ability to fund retirement has governments around the world concerned. Bloomberg News reporter Amy Bainbridge found in a months-long look at the issue that this could be the slowest-moving financial crisis of our time.
The percentage of GDP spent on retirement systems around the world is in the double digits, and that is simply going to rise. So the problem facing governments around the world is just how expensive it is to look after older generations.
This chart shows the age dependency ratio across OECD member countries. This is simply the number of individuals aged 65 and over per 100 people of working age. And in the next 50 years, the ratio is expected to soar to almost 60%, up from 20% in the 1990s. Among economists, there's a near universal agreement that we'll all need to work for longer, save more, or receive less when we retire. But plans to increase the retirement age are facing strong backlash.
Perhaps the biggest flashpoint at the moment is in France, where Emmanuel Macron wants to raise the retirement age from 62 to 64, and that's caused huge protests. People are extremely unhappy about being told that they have to work longer.
Much of the resistance to raising the retirement age is rooted in the fact that making people wait longer to claim their pensions falls most heavily on those who can least afford it. Precarious working conditions, family caregiving responsibilities, poor health, and age discrimination make it difficult or impossible for many to work into their late 60s and beyond. All these factors are tightly linked to class and race. In Australia, 70% of Indigenous men live long enough to access the government pension, compared with 86% of the general population. In the UK, professional workers live 5.5 years longer than manual workers. And in the US, white men live 7.6 years longer than black men. So what can governments do to ease the financial pressure of rising pension costs?
One option, of course, is increasing taxes to pay for retirement, but that's not popular either. Some of the other ideas look at time you spend in a profession and getting a commensurate pension when you have completed a set number of years in the workforce.
There's clearly no easy solution, but experts warn that governments should face up to the issue sooner rather than later.
And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later at 10:45 in the morning as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.